Hey everybody, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. Today I thought that we would do a bit of a discussion, maybe a bit of a shootout between the new Holley Terminator EFI system and, good old HP tuners. The Holley Terminator is kind of the darling of the LS swap world at the moment because it starts out at $1,000 or $999, whatever. It's $1,000. So a lot of people are intimidated by HP tuners. They're intimidated by wiring. They're intimidated by tuning. So this seems like it's the same reason Phytech sells for the most part. People are solving a problem that doesn't actually exist. So Holley does include all the stuff you need. They do include a wideband, and they do have pretty awesome boost control and nitrous control. So if you're trying to make like 4-digit horsepower and you're really trying to hook up at the track and you're trying to run drag week or something like that, this is probably a pretty good system for you, although it's early and we don't really know. Holley doesn't typically make junk, though. It's probably pretty good. We just don't really know yet. I know Matt Happel has it, so everybody has to have everything Matt Happel has, but you got to realize Matt Happel's trying to run 8-second quarter miles. That's fast, and if you live in the real world, that is stupid fast. But let's go over the different features and go over, some of the pros and cons. The base price of the Holley Terminator X is $1,000. The street price might be a little less. We don't really know yet. But Holley's advertising it at $1,000. HP Tuners is $300. A lot of people don't know that the new MVPI 2 is a lot cheaper. Like, they're allowing you to just buy the hardware and not have to buy 8 credits like I did. So it's a lot cheaper. You don't have to pay $700, $600, whatever. I got the Pro. I don't remember what the base was, but it was a lot of money, like $450 or something like that. It was a hard pill to swallow. On top of that, you have to buy a harness and stuff like that. So we'll get into that a little bit later, though. So when you get the base Terminator X, it does not do transmission control. You're not going to run a 4L80 or a 4L60 on it. You're not going to run anything else. You're going to have to run a Turbo 400 or a Turbo 350 or a manual transmission. So if you just have a drag car like Matt has a Turbo 400, he doesn't care if he has transmission control, But again, you got to be honest with yourself and what you're going for, in order to make an informed decision. HP Tuners obviously does transmission control all the way up to the 6-speed and 8-speed stuff. LS, LT, doesn't matter, it covers it all. So there's that. Drive-by-wire. You cannot do drive-by-wire with the base kit. You can with the Terminator X Max or whatever. Same with transmission control. For additional money, you can do additional controls. But HP Tuners out of the box does drive-by-wire, does transmission control. So now we get into the added features where Holley shines, okay? It does awesome nitrous control. You can progressively control it. You don't need an additional controller. HP Tuners, you would need an additional controller if you wanted to ramp in nitrous. Now, if you're shooting like 150 shot at the track and you're trying to run 10s, 11s, you don't need nitrous control, okay? Again, you got to be honest with yourself. Like, all this stuff sounds super cool, but do you actually need it? Maybe you do. I don't know. Boost control. Holley does it, and it does it by gear, RPM, time. It's pretty powerful stuff. You can really get control of the car with the Holley boost control. HP Tuners doesn't. You got a wastegate, you got a spring, and whatever you add on to it. And an aftermarket boost controller that can do all of this stuff is in the $400 range. So, again, I'd give the advantage to Holley if you really are trying to put 1,200 horsepower down on the street or at the track. You need boost control. If you're trying to make 3, 4, 5, 600 horsepower, you don't really need boost control. The Holley comes with an wideband O2 sensor. HP Tuners does not. Again, that's an additional cost. Holley only fits the vehicle you put it on, whereas HP Tuners will fit, just with all the added MVPI2 support, they'll fit almost anything. They fit Toyotas now. They work on Toyotas now. They work on anything. The additional cost really for the Holley, if you want it like Daryl, is a drive-by-wire with an electronic trans, so it would actually cost me $1,500 to get into a Terminator X. And for what I'm doing, it's not worth it, and I'm not going to be doing it. With HP Tuners, the additional cost are, the credits are $45 each. It takes 2 credits to tune a Gen 3. I think the Gen 5 direct injected stuff is 3 credits. And then you get into Fords or whatever. I don't know how many credits those are. Once you license the vehicle, it's yours forever. So like Clifford's licensed, it's mine forever. It doesn't cost me anything to go back in there and change it. Wideband, nitrous, boost controller, all that stuff is going to be extra with HP Tuners. So if you need all of that out of the gate, just get the Holley. But you really have to question, do you need all... If you're watching this channel, you probably don't need all that out of the gate. You really don't. For that matter, I would even encourage a lot of people on this channel who are just trying to get a Cam 5.3 to run in their swap to just go with Andy Bryant or Brendan from LT1 Swap or somebody else and just have a tuned ECM sent to you. You don't even need HP Tuners. Everybody says they like to make changes, and it's so nice to be able to make changes. The fact is, like, once you have it dialed in, you don't change anything. It's not like you're out there changing camshafts every day. The X and the X Max, it comes with everything. It comes with your harness. It comes with all your sensors and everything you need. This diagnostic LED thing's kind of goofy. I don't really care about that. I like just plugging it into the OBD2 sensor connector. They will make the harness with whatever injector plug you need. They're not really releasing. You can see here where you can ramp in the nitrous and that kind of stuff. And then down here is where we get into the kit. So again, like with transmission control and drive-by cable, you're at $1,300. And when you get into transmission control and drive-by-wire, you're at $1,500. So it gets to be a lot. And people are doing some fuzzy math, like, you gotta spend $700 on a harness, and no, you don't. Harnesses are, you can make them yourself. The instructions are all over the internet. But you can buy a harness on eBay for $250, and it is 100% a PSI harness. PSI is importing harnesses and charging you dummies $700 for them. Don't be a dummy. Don't fall for that crap. You can get one off eBay for $300. People will rework them. Andy Bryan will do it for like $350. John Kowalski of John's Custom Wire does it for like $375. The guy I used, Jason Richards, did it for $275. For $275, I'm not messing with them. I'll just buy a harness. So going the way I did, like I said, my HP Tuners was like $700. But I just advertised on Facebook and stuff that I could do VATS unlocks, and I charged $200 to do it, and I got all my money back. And then I just stopped advertising because I couldn't handle people like, shoot, can you make my Silverado roll coal and do wheelies? So, I got tired of that real fast. But I just made the money back, and it didn't actually cost me anything. But even if you didn't want to get into that, what they have now, $400, $300 for a harness, and you're done. I don't know. I don't think, my personal opinion is that it's not really like a stock ECU killer for most people out there. If you're just doing a basic swap, and you can grow into this stuff too. Like all these additional costs, if you decide later on you want to boost it, because I'm an advocate of just getting it in, getting it running, and going from there. Later on, you want a turbo, and you decide, okay, I'm tired of blowing my tires off. I want to add boost control. It's easier to just add it later, I think. You don't have to buy it all at once. But if you're going straight up race car and you know your end goal, like Matt, is 8s, you should probably start here if you know that for a fact. But like I said, you got to be honest. So hopefully this kind of clears it up, because I see a lot of people kind of fanboying out over it, and they're not really looking at the facts quite right. Or like I said, they're using some fuzzy math where, you know, HP tuners is 700 and a harness is 700, and that's just not the case. You can get a tune. There's people out there that will sell you a harness, and Jason Richard will sell you a harness and a tuned ECU for $350, and you don't even need to get into this, and you're done, and your swap is running. So, because you don't need to go in there and change crap every 3 days or anything. You really don't. Trust me. So be honest, be realistic about your goals, about what you're doing, and, you know, that's kind of the focus of the channel, right? Do it on a budget, get it going, go from there. But hopefully this helps you out. If you've been looking at the Holley and you've seen all the hype around it, you know, maybe we cut through some of that. I think it's probably a good system. It's not for me. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe HP Tuners is for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe you should just have your ECM tuned by somebody. It's all depends on you at the end. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check us out on Facebook at The Driveway Engineer, and I will see you guys next time.